Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Global Online Open. And right now, we are in the battle round, week 1 of our battle rounds, and we're going to be talking to Jesse and Brooke. Hello, guys. Are you there?
Hey, Rob.
Hi, yep, I'm here.
Brooke, if you can just kind of introduce yourself to everybody listening, where you're from, and how long have you been dancing?
I am originally born and raised in Utah, USA. Right now I'm residing in Kansas City. I have been dancing, just doing like ballet, tap, jazz, outside of the fun stuff since I was a little baby. And then West Coast swing probably about 3 years.
Perfect. And how about you, Jesse?
Well, I've grown up all over the Midwest. I'm from here in the States, and I've been dancing, professionally teaching and dancing for 9 years now. I started with ballroom and was connected to that from a theater program at my college and at a community theater program called the Culture House. And that connected me to a dance school. I began an internship and then transitioned into professionally teaching and have been doing that ever since.
Good, good, good. So then let me segue into this dance partnership right now, and we'll talk about the contest and the online contest in a couple of minutes. But kind of this dance partnership, how did you guys meet, and how did this one form?
So at that dance studio where I first started so long ago, Brooke also worked as an instructor, and we had an opportunity to, at one point, dance a cabaret routine. And that cabaret routine was a lot of fun. It was doing really well in some of the local competitions. So we took it on the road a few times to great success. And because of that success, ended up competing as far as the Ohio Star Ball in the ballroom competitions, and as far as California for the U.S. Open in the cabaret division. I think that was 5 years ago. We ended up taking second at that competition, and that was a great experience. But then since then, there hasn't really been a reason to perform together again or to perform another routine again. And this seemed like a great opportunity to put something new out on the floor.
Well, congratulations on your routine. We got to see it a little bit. So I'll segue over to you, Brooke, if you can tell us kind of about, how you found out about this online competition and kind of what your first thoughts of it were. How did that all develop?
Yeah, Brooke, what were your first thoughts?
Well, to be 100% honest, I got a call at like 10:30 at night once I got home from work with crazy Jesse Lopez wanting to enter in a competition. And he's like, "What are you doing right now?" And I was like, "Well, I got about an hour to spare. Let's dance." So
Oh,
really, it
fantastic.
was
Crazy
completely
Jesse
on
Lopez.
a
I like
whim.
that. That's his new nickname. So clearly
Yeah,
on a whim.
that's gonna go over real well, I'm sure.
Well, good. So it was on a whim. So then, how about the process? I mean, when did you guys receive the music? I mean, how did that kind of work and play out? And then, within that short space of time to flip this around, I mean, how did that all develop?
Oh man, well, we were the first battle round to progress. So us and Simeon over in Saratov, Russia, they and we, I suppose, got our music as the first couple. And so we had 3 weeks. That was 3 weeks ago. We've just turned in our video. So we had 3 weeks to choreograph the routine to music that we didn't get to pick and didn't know beforehand. It was a 4-minute song originally. So the very first step that we took was cutting the music to make sure that it was going to sound the way that we wanted it to, that it was going to be the final cut. And we listened to it. And as soon as we began the choreography process, we tried to make sure that we didn't forget anything moving forward based on that time crunch, and we just kept that deadline in mind. One of the difficult things process-wise that we had talked about was that we didn't have a specific dance studio that we were using. I teach primarily out of Melange Dance and Events, a studio here in Kansas City, and when we practice, I kind of prefer people, or at least people that I know, not getting to see that practice process rather than a finished product. And so we had to go out of our way to practice at different locations around Kansas City in order to make sure that we were using practice spaces that wouldn't be as frequently visited by my clientele.
So it was something that was out the ordinary and putting you well and truly a little bit out of your comfort zone. I'm going to dive into that a little bit deeper. We can wrap things up with the Global Open. The whole online feeling of this is to gain exposure towards West Coast swing. And I'd say I'd like to ask you then if there was something, to anybody listening or to anybody out there watching the videos and coming across West Coast swing for the first time, is there anything that you would say to kind of, add to encouragement or, inspire them to get involved? What would that kind of message be?
That's why this has been so great. Although one thing I really have noticed, I struggle with some depression and anxiety, and that's become a large part of my life. And so honestly, having this opportunity, like though it's been like it's a whole different kind of stress, and it's been awesome for me. It's been able to give me that short-term / long-term goal and have a deadline and hope and effort to just dive into and get me through the rest of my life. So honestly, it's kind of been a survival aid for me.
Wow, thank you very much for sharing that, Brooke, for sure. Is there anything that you'd like to add to that, Jesse, in terms of that encouragement message, and how's that process been for you guys?
Well, like Brooke shared in the beginning, the choice to do it was rather last minute for us, but I really thought that it was a great contest format that was being brought up, and I didn't want to see it go by the wayside. I'm very passionate about West Coast swing and the Swing 16 format in general, and so I wanted to make sure that we were a part of sharing these West Coast swing routines in such a unique way with the rest of the world. And so if I had the opportunity, I suppose taking this opportunity now, if you don't dance West Coast swing, if you're missing out on one of the most exciting and most satisfying hobbies that life has to offer, then I would share with you, or I would tell you that it's one of the only ways in today's modern world that I've found that intentionally creates a community of acceptance that you can go and be a part of. So often in today's world, you know who you know, and that's who you do things with. You don't go to the movies to meet new people. You don't go to a bar to meet new people. You don't go mini golfing to meet new people. You go with the people that you already know. And so it's a very exclusive society that we've developed. In West Coast swing, the West Coast swing is an inclusive group. They're an inclusive societal function that allows you to make new friends. And even if you don't make friends, it allows you to interact for that 3 minutes of the song to really enjoy getting the chance to physically and emotionally, intellectually connect with someone for a brief space of time before you both separate and go to the next song with a new partner, or go back to your hotel room to rest after a night of dancing. So it's a great language to speak, and a great way to learn how to express yourself. It's worth it. Go through the trouble. It's worth it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can join me in wishing both Jesse and Brooke all the very best as they progress, hopefully through the rounds, but that's only going to happen if you guys get out there and vote. Jesse and Brooke, thank you very, very much for your time. I look forward to seeing you
so much.
And talking to you later on as the competition develops, hopefully.
We'll see you out there, Rob. Thanks for the call.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
We're existing.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are back again with round one, our other couple. This is Simeon and Maria. Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Hey, very good. And you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Thank you very much for asking. So exciting stuff. Battle round week one. What I'd like to start with asking is you individually, if you could give us your names and tell us a little bit about where you're from. So Maria, we'll start with you.
My name is Maria Yelizarova. Originally, I'm from Saratov and now live in Moscow.
And how long have you been dancing, Maria?
I've been dancing for 6 years. Before West Coast Swing, I've been dancing hustle and disco fox for 4 years. And now West Coast Swing is the main and most favorite dance.
My name is Semyon Ovsyannikov. I'm from Saratov, also as Maria. I've been dancing West Coast Swing also for 6 years.
So you said that you're both from the same place. How did this dance partnership form, and when did you guys start dancing together?
We met for the first time at a dance school where I was teaching, and Simon came to my salsa beginners group. That's how we met for the first time. And then Simon continued learning different dances in this dance school. And then he found West Coast Swing progressing in this dance. And then we decided to train together, and that's how it started.
Fantastic. So it started out with you being the teacher, huh? So Simeon, mate, can you shed a little bit more light on that and how that all developed from your perspective?
It was a little bit weird because at first Masha taught West Coast Swing workshop, and I've been there as a student, and then she stopped dancing West Coast Swing and stopped teaching, and I started to learn more and I started to teach, and then she came to my workshop, so we switched.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It sounds funny, but it's true.
Moving forward, when did you guys decide to begin competing together within West Coast Swing?
Our first routine was at Russian Open in 2014, am I right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then we, I don't know why, but we stopped doing the new routine, and it was like 1.5 years after this Russian Open, we were ready to go to US Open. Our first US Open was 2 years ago.
2015.
2015, right? Yeah.
And how was that first experience heading over to the US Open?
It was really amazing. We were, I guess, like, we were there and just a couple of Russians, so we were not feeling alone there because we knew almost everybody already, but it was so great experience for us.
So it was a really good opportunity to spread the love of West Coast Swing. So how did you first learn about the Global Online Open?
We found a message from Doug. He was inviting us to compete in this new project. And we decided that it's a good opportunity for us to create something new and to take part in this brand new project.
And Simeon, mate, why did you decide to enter this online contest?
I want to say that it's really great experience for us to create new routines, because it's just great experience for us. We have to create more and more, so we will have in the future better routines. That's all.
So when did you receive the music, and how much time did you have to choreograph for this first round?
We had our music
3 weeks ago.
like 4 weeks ago, something like that.
No.
So we had 3 weeks to choreograph this routine, but as we were really busy at this time, we found free time for this routine only like so we spent like 2 days for choreographing this routine, something like that, and then we practice it a little bit, maybe for 1 day, and then we made a video with.
Yes, it was very quick for both of us, and it's a good opportunity to think fast and to choreograph very quickly and to train very quickly. So yeah, for us it was very good and rather tough experience, but we enjoyed it.
So I'd like to ask you, the Global Online Open's kind of mission is to kind of help grow awareness for the dance that we all love, that being West Coast Swing. If you could say maybe one or two things to somebody who's listening to you guys for the first time, or this is their first interaction with West Coast Swing, how would you describe the dance, and what would your advice be?
I just want to say that there are so many ways to grow in this dance. That's amazing, and you can learn how to improvise in the dance. You can learn how to make different routines. There are so many ways. That's the main thing for me.
And Simeon, what does West Coast Swing mean to you?
I love this dance because of the freedom, and also because you can do any type of the song, any genre of the song, dance with any partner. Because it's I love it because when I saw, actually it was our first album when I saw like a really young boy dance with adult woman, and it was so great. So because you can't see it in Zouk, for example, or in Kizomba and Salsa. West Coast Swing, you can see it. It's so good.
Well, we wish you all the very best within this competition and online, and then hopefully we get to see you out on the dance floor pretty soon. What would you like to achieve from being involved in this brand new process?
I hope that people will see how we do it, and they will be inspired to create their routines more. We see that now people are really free to create routines in classic, to compete in classic, to or rising star or showcase, and we want to know that it's not so difficult, that everybody can start practicing with it, and it's really good experience for us.
And Maria, what about you?
Absolutely agree with Simon in this part.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you can join me in thanking them, albeit virtually for right now, by clicking online and voting. That's the way in which we can make this work, and we can keep seeing more of their creativity. And ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Simeon and Maria.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
See you.